Welcome to Money Patterns Decoded. Money is never just about money. It is a pattern. Today we expose one of those hidden patterns, see exactly how it controls your finances, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. Here's a sharp fact. Most people get raises, new clients, or a surprise sale, and nothing changes emotionally. Your balance grows on paper, but your felt experience of abundance barely moves. You feel a little lighter, maybe, but the gravity of smallness pulls you back. Why does money gain seem numerically real, but experientially flat? The answer is not arithmetic, it's measurement. The unit you use to judge worth doesn't scale with your gains. That invisible unit is what I call the missing denominator. The missing denominator, a compact definition. It's the internal unit of value you divide every dollar by, your private scale of worth. When that denominator stays small, every dollar is reduced. When it expands, money multiplies. Most people never notice it because they live inside it. Now the first mechanism, the psychological one. Psychologically, this denominator is set early. Childhood calibrations, the dinner table narratives about not enough, the whispered shame around money, the identity messages like we don't do that, all act as measurement presets. You learn an internal ratio, how worthy you feel per dollar received. Shame compresses it. Identity friction, when new income contradicts your self-image, throws the measurement off and triggers cognitive tax. You spend emotionally, sabotage or minimize wins, so the inner math still makes sense. Think of a child given a cookie. If that child was taught to hide treats, the cookie isn't just food, it becomes evidence you don't deserve abundance. Later, a big check becomes the same sort of misplaced evidence, too big for the scale, so it's ignored, rationalized, or spent in ways that restore the old ratio. This is not moralizing, it's measurement. Your nervous system runs a simple calculation. Value in divided by your denominator equals felt worth. If denominator equals low, felt worth equals low even when money rises. Identity resists dissonance, and so you find ways to reduce the gap. That's the mechanism. Now the esoteric layer, where numerology and Rosicrucian inner alchemy explain the same collapse in symbolic terms. Numerology treats numbers as vibrational signatures. Your root number anchors a personal scale. If your root number is misaligned with your present earning frequency, the internal ratio contracts. It's like trying to play a symphony in the wrong key. In Rosicrucian terms, there is an inner proportion between the lower faculties and the higher center of value perception. When that proportion collapses, the soul's measuring rod shortens. Practically, your numerological root, your archetypal story, and your inner geometric ratio must resonate with new levels of income. If they don't, the denominator stays stuck. Imagine a sacred ratio, a little inner compass that calibrates enough, two, more, in precise proportion. When that compass collapses, money may flow into your life, but your inner geometry fails to expand. You receive in the outer world while remaining contracted in the inner. The esoteric fix, then, is not a ritual to fetch cash. It's a realignment of that internal ratio, so your inner unit of measure grows with your income. Let me reframe this with a metaphor you can use immediately. Most people treat money as a river, more water, more flow. But the missing denominator tells a different story. Money is a proportion. You are not only increasing the stream, you must widen the channel that measures the stream. If you pour a river into a narrow canal, the water rises, but spills, anxiety, self-sabotage, smallness. If you widen the channel, the denominator, the same river fills your fields. Scaling the denominator transforms flow into sustainable abundance. This is why a raise feels like nothing until you change the scale. Now one concrete daily shift. 5 minutes that recalibrates your denominator and tests new scale. Call it the Ledger Plus Worth Audit. Step 1. Open a simple 2-column ledger. Column A. A single line for today's incoming money events. Not amounts, just events. Invoice paid, client booked, interest received. Column B. Next to each event, write a one-word worth tag. How big that event felt to you. Tiny, normal, worthy, generous. Time, 2 minutes. Step 2. Apply a corrective ratio. For each tiny tag, write a corrective phrase. This is abundant, I scale to receive. Repeat the phrase while breathing deeply for 30 seconds per event. Inhale for 4. Hold 1. Exhale for 6. Time, 2 minutes. Step 3. Commit one visible action tied to the event. Move $X to savings. Set a client as a recurring payment, or mark the income as sacred by entering it into a weekly allocation plan. Time, 1 minute. This simple practice does 3 things at once. It externalizes perception into numbers. It introduces corrective language to stretch your inner scale. And it anchors expansion with a small, visible financial action. Do it daily for 7 days and track one signal. Does a new income item feel larger on day 7 than on day 1? If yes, your denominator is widening. If no, keep the practice and add a numerological titration. On day 1, choose a personal number that represents expansion for you, a numerological anchor, and place it in the margin of your ledger. Each time you mark an income event, touch that number with intention. That physical symbolic pairing accelerates the inner alchemy of scale. Micro ritual walkthrough. Quick, practical. Sit upright. Open the ledger. Read the incoming event aloud. Place your hand on your heart. Inhale for 4. Hold 1. Exhale for 6. Say, I accept this at a higher measure. Write the corrective phrase. Then move $1, $10, or a percentage into a different account labeled scale. The amount is symbolic, not transactional. The muscle memory matters. Do this daily 5 minutes and observe. Feelings follow movement. Recap and promise. The missing denominator is your internal measuring rod that keeps gains small unless you expand it. The psychological mechanism is childhood calibration, shame, and identity friction. The esoteric mechanism is a misaligned numerological root and a collapsed inner ratio. The shift. A 5-minute ledger plus worth audit combined with breath and a small financial action will recalibrate your denominator. Expect results within a week. Clearer feeling of expansion, less impulse to neutralize gains, and one practical reallocation that proves you can hold more. If you want the ritual templates, the numerological titrations, and the full chapter that guides this practice as a 40-day recalibration, pull the companion chapter in my library. It contains journal prompts, a sacred ratio worksheet, and precise wording for the corrective phrases so you don't have to invent your own. You can follow the architecture. Visit Desmarques.com and look for the book library. The chapter is called The Missing Denominator. That is the money pattern. That is the mechanism. And that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your financial life, explore my complete library at Desmarques.com. Money is a pattern. Awareness is the key.